Hi everybody, this is Ace of Stripe, and I thought I'd do a quick video to show you how to use your iPad as an effects processor for your outboard gear. Now typically I would use something like an Eventide Time Factor, something like this, but since I have this iPad, I thought, man, I should really be using this thing a little bit more when I'm playing live, and that's how I do most of my recording anyways. So I've got a Yamaha Reface DX here. I've got a Steinberg interface, the UR-22, and the iPad. So let's look at how we do this. So this program here, this app is the Audiobus 3, and it's really a great app for what we're trying to do. Very simple: input, effect, output. So in this case, we're going to take the input. It gives us some choices here. It's already reading the Steinberg, which is set up, and we'll talk about that flow in a second. Steinberg, we press that, so now it understands that the signal is coming through this interface. And then we go to this, and this is going to be our effects, and here we go. It shows the apps that I have that have effects on them. In this case, we're going to use the Spring, and then we're going to go ahead and set up our outboard. In this case, again, we're going to use the Steinberg. So this is set up for me so that I can play live in my studio and make use of the iPad when I don't necessarily want to use one of the synths that are on it. I just like the effects, and that's what I want to use. I'm not keeping it all inside the digital realm, but that's okay for me. So let's talk about the audio signal path here. So we have two cable stereos coming out of the Reface, going into our Steinberg, and then those two, and back here the output is going right into our mixer, and that's the sound you're hearing. The Midi is taking this cable here, and it's a little breakout cable from the DX, and then I've got a Midi cable plugged in. It's going right into the Steinberg. The nice thing about this little interface is that it has in and out Midi ports, so that makes this a little bit easier for me. There are cases where you can use USB for audio and MIDI. I like to use what I have first, see if I can pull it off. This is a great interface for a lot of reasons, and one of the reasons is that it works perfectly with the iPad. I believe that's called, it's class compliant, uses core audio. So the USB is going out into this camera connection kit right here, and that is how our MIDI is getting into the iPad. Now that is pretty much all there is to it. This is really cool. You know, in this case, we know right now that I can play this. It's coming through. It's going right to this app, and here you go. If you watch the signal path, there it is. And if we pull this up some, the strings are already up. Let's just see. Yeah, you can hear it. Here's without. Oop, change. So there you go. You've got the Eventide Spring app used as basically your effects. You can go back, and this is really great too. You can go back and say, hey, I also want to add the Rotary. In this case, yeah, we don't want to allow that. Okay. Now we've got both of them going in a chain. I'm not hearing any latency either. Playing it like this. Now I'm keeping it really simple, just one path. I know it can get really complex, or you might want to load a lot of effects, but for me and to take use of some of these great apps, I was really happy to figure this out. I hope that helps you a lot. Feel free to ask me any questions, and talk to you soon.